Joining us today on our exclusive interview is the man at the helm of the National Parents Association, Chairman Silas David, a champion, passionate advocate about empowering parents to understand and actively participate in the CBC competence-based curriculum. And he will also shed light on the way parents engagement is critical and how
NPA is well enacted in the Education Act, Schedule 55.
Yes.
It shows exactly what our mandates are. And the government has allowed us to carry what we call parental empowerment and engagement. We drive that all the way from national to grassroots, the school level, to empower parents. Actually, what the government is doing is that through National Parents Association, parents can get information. There's access to information. And that information is the correct information as far as education policies are concerned. So one area is education. That's the first area the government, through the Education Act, has given us powers to educate parents. Parents must understand what are their roles as parents. How do they behave in terms of providing for education for their children?
Yes.
You see, parents need to understand why do we have curriculum changes? You see that? Parents need to understand why are they buying uniforms?
Yes.
Parents need to understand why is the government paying capitation funds for their children? Parents must understand why are schools asking for extra levies when actually education is supposed to be free in this country?
Yeah.
So there are those policies. It's us NPA to make them clear to the parents at our language, because the government or the Ministry of Education is at a higher level. It's like we report to the Ministry of Education.
Yes.
So when I train like this, when I trained the parents in Nairobi County recently, the 670 PS, you see, this is an added advantage of the Ministry of Education, that I have done some work for them as NPA. When they walk in those schools, they are seeing the changes. There are even just the reception at Pekaki in those schools will tell you that training is an eye opener. That if it was done in all counties in this country, then schools will be in a better position, because all the PTS of schools will be trained on school management systems. You see that? So that is one area that we have to deal with the policies. Second area is the question of safety of the learners. Now, you saw that incident in Russia.
Yes.
And it's not the only one. There have been so many in the past.
Yeah, that's right.
And there could be many that might be coming again. There are what we call disasters in waiting. Some of the schools, if you walk in, you have seen some of the schools that have been exposed on the media.
Yes.
Like the schools you saw in Kisi. There were some schools in Kisi, if you look at them, they don't actually look like schools. They look like what? Pigs what? Sheds. You saw one school that was shown on the TV.
Yes.
And most of these schools, we thank the government because it moved with the speed and closed those schools. They were closed. The 348 schools that were closed.
Exactly.
Those were disasters in waiting. We thank the government that it took a stand step to have them closed. Right now they're under renovation, and by the time that they are being opened, there'll be a very big change. So that is on the safety of learners. National Parents Association is supposed to go and educate parents on the safety of their children, both in and out of school.
Out of school.
So in terms of disasters, in terms of early pregnancies, the school girls,
Yes.
in terms of drug abuse and substances, in terms of corruption, even in terms of positive parenting. The other day the president was asking parents to train their children to grow up as Christians, as good people, people that can have integrity, people that are able to be honest, to be responsible, to be accountable. Through Parents Association, my officers have been trained on positive parenting. If we are used, we can empower parents on that. That is part of the safety of the what? Of the children. Because we want a better future nation. And the president talked about this. And actually even this is what gave me motivation to request that hand of extension from his office now to NPA. We go out and talk to parents and teach parents, work with them holistically to have them change their perspectives towards their children and upbringing issues.
Exactly.
Children need values and principles of integrity.
Yeah.
So, safety of the children. Finally, the health of the learners in and out of school. We need to educate parents to understand that a hungry child cannot learn.
Cannot.
A sick child cannot go to school and learn. Some parents force their children to go to school. Children wake up and complain, we are sick. But a parent will only feel that a child is sick the moment she or he sees a child lying, fainting on the floor, being told himself, your child is where? In Kenyatta. Your child is in Aga Khan. What has happened? Parents need to understand what is this health. When you talk about the health of the learners in and out of school, nutrition values are very important. Some parents don't feed their children on balanced diet. They just feel if a child wakes up in the morning, he takes a cup of black tea, goes to school at lunch hour, this child takes ugali with sukuma, goes back at home again in the evening, takes ugali with sukuma. This is an easy child, a preschool child. This child is still developing. The brains of these children, even the muscles, cannot develop. So parents need training on the health of their children. The kind of water they are drinking. You walk around and see what children are coming from school in the evening or during lunch hour. They are thirsty, isn't it?
Yes.
And it has rained. There are floods all over. You'll find just children washing their hands in that water and drinking that water. They just take that. They don't know that that's dangerous to them. But this water is contaminated. So we need to train even parents that when the children are going to school, they should pack for them water, if they are the scholars. Okay?
Yes.
But the parents will pack tea with a lot of sugar. For these children to it's like talking the children to be in school using sugar. Sugary foods. We call them junks.
Yeah.
They are forgetting that there's what we call non-communicable diseases, which originates from this kind of feeding. So parents require that education. It's us parents, it's us National Parents Association with my leadership that needs to do that. That's what the parent now, where the person is sitting right now, he may have some time now to listen to my pleas now. So I took my time. Education begins from home. Like for example, if you go to a home where there is a mother who is a teacher and there is a student in the junior secondary school, the mother teacher will be able to explain something about CBC without a hindrance or without a lot of confusion. And like the way a grandmother who has never heard about CBC, who has never had any access to information on CBC, will explain. And that's why we are saying we want to have parents involved in the full implementation of the curriculum for CBC. Parents must be on table. Parents must be listened to. The government must be ready to work with the parents. Parents must be supplied with the information. Access to information is very critical. Like now you are seeing we have these issues of infrastructure. You hear parents saying that they are seeing classrooms being built in the last minutes to have the president first of all settle down. Then I could come up now. Secondly, I had a thought that when I took over the office, that quickly even the parliament and the Ministry of Education would look into this and see that NPA is a very important organization in the country. So they will look at this quickly and maybe invite me. We sit together. Like now the Education Parliamentary Committee, chaired by Mr. Honorable Meli, should have invited me right now. But we hope they will do it because I've been trying to reach them. They should have invited me with my board to sit down and even listen to our crisis. That what are the problems? What is happening? I thank God because the PS and the CS, we are in a very good relationship. And with the Minister of Education, we are in a very good relationship. They are really concerned about billing NPA. That's why you see I'm sitting in this office. This office belongs to the government, to the Minister of Education. I sit here because the PS understands who I am and understands my work. The PS has openly told me that he has given me all the freedom to do my work. The CS has said the same thing. Promote parental empowerment and engagement for parents in the whole country so that the education sector can improve. So when I'm appealing to the president, it's not that the PS and the CS have failed. They have not failed. The ministry has not failed. I'm just appealing to the president as a parent and as a friend. Okay? That if he's able, he can extend a hand. Meanwhile, Parliament should think about on how it can support an organization where government is building infrastructure in schools, where government is giving capitation. We cannot talk of the government failing. It has. So what we need to understand as Kenyans, let me not now talk about parents, just as any other Kenyan, including the media, we have to understand that the government cannot provide 100% full of all that is required within the education sector. There is no country in the world that offers free education. Zero payment from parents in the world. It's not very easy.
Exactly.
Someone will tell me about France. France is not Kenya. That's France. You cannot compare the life of people living in France and the life of Kenyans. There are many Kenyans who cannot even afford a single dollar in a day. But the government is trying to see that these same Kenyans can have their children in school by supporting the capitation funds and the work that it's doing right now. So, to me, since I took over this office, the NPA chairman, I would say that the government has done much. We all need to appreciate. We all need to thank the government. We need to thank the president. We need to thank the parliament. We need to thank the office of the CS, Minister of Education, and the office of the PS. We have to agree on this. They have worked tirelessly to bring education where it is. Now, with these ups and downs or the teething problems in CBC, in a short while, all this will be gone or past history. Things will change. CBC is just still beginning, and it will catch up. There has been an issue that grade 9 students should have gone to secondary schools. And I want to make this clear. It is us, Parents Association, that requested the government to allow the children under junior secondary school or junior school to stay in until the end of grade 9.
Exactly.
The reason being, these are children who are below the age of 15 years. They are babies. So, if they had gone to grade 8 in secondary schools, many of them would have been 10 years, 11 years. These are children who they are still under breastfeeding, with their parents at home. Take them to a high school where they have to be independent. They don't even understand even how to bathe. Look at the girl child. How does a child of 11 years get to high school and begins now going undergoing changes while at the high school where she cannot even understand herself? What an embarrassment. So we feel these children should be left at the primary school level to go through junior secondary school. At the end of grade 9, they'll be 15 years. When they are 15, they'll transit to secondary school premises at the age of 16, which is allowed internationally. That's the standard. So it's not the government that did this. Therefore, KUPPET and KNUT plus any other stakeholders must understand that it was the request of parents. It's not the PS or the CS or the president who is forcing this to happen. It's parents who requested. And the government listened to the request of parents and gave them that gift. That's why we have those children at the primary school level. Finishing with the classroom construction, we are calling on everybody. We are all Kenyans. I'm extending a hand of request to the parents. There are the 70% schools that are under construction right now. You know, when I was in school, those days, we had the Harambee spirit that was brought by Mzee Jomo Kenyatta.
Yes.
I wish even the government at present brought back this Harambee spirit, but under very good organization setups, whereby if a fundraising is done and Harambee is done in a school, like Nairobi Primary here, if Harambee is done there, the people who are in charge of that fundraising must be accountable of what the funds are used for to the government. If the government can think in introducing the Harambee spirit in this country, you will find that even there are parents who can contribute money and build classrooms in schools without even getting support from the what? From the government. We have schools that have very powerful alumni. I'm an old student of Mango High School.
Yes.
We have a very powerful alumni association of Mango High School. We sit together, raise funds and pay fees for students. Personally, the media has approached me and given me names of students that I don't even know. I don't even know their parents. And I'm giving them support. Currently, there is a student I'm raising funds for from Northeastern. Right now as we are speaking, tomorrow the student will be in school. By tomorrow, his fees will have been paid. There is a student from Kisii. He is in the slums in Westlands. He scored 421 marks to go to Mango High School. And he had nothing. I took over. In fact, the student has never met me physically, face to face. He doesn't even know me. But year one I finished. Right now, I'm raising funds for him to go to school tomorrow. Fees for first term. And if all goes well, we normally pay fees for the whole year and for the 4 years as an alumni. There is a student who came from a school on Thika Road in Madare Valley, from a very poor school, an Abbott school. This girl got 368 marks. And from Madare, from a single mother, she got admission to a school in Homa Bay. Imagine from Madare to Homa Bay, and this is a girl child of less than 15 years. So this child walked to my office here. I just saw her walk in. How she came here, I didn't understand. And she came here and told me, you are the father of parents, so you are my father. I have no father, I have no family.
Wonderful.
I have never seen my father. My mother, for me to get food, she must walk in somebody's house, wash clothes, come in the evening and buy sukuma. I need a school, I need fees. I took this girl, and on friendly basis, I spoke to the principal at St. Francis Girls Mango High School. Now that girl's there in Form 2 now. And an alumni whom I spoke to picked up, he's paying fees for the 4 years. So if the government can work with me and with my association, that's what you're calling parental empowerment and engagement. I can engage. Yes, Jeff have said this question. I should repeat. We are very much willing. We are very much ready to run a conference other than our national delegates conference. We want to expose parents in the education sector.
Exactly.
We are wishing that if we got a donation or funding, we would hold a conference for parents, an open conference for all parents.
Yes.
We just do a conference, like the way Kesha and Kepsha do their conference
Yes, yeah.
in the counties and at the national level in Mombasa. National parents would be willing to run a conference of that nature for parents, so that the parents can sit, even the government officials, in the same conference and just compare notes.
It's true.
Parents will be very happy to sit in a conference with the president.
Exactly.
Just like the way we saw on what space? X what?
Space.
The X space.
Yeah.
The president was sitting with the university student.
Exactly.
You saw that?
Yeah.
How exciting will it be to see the same president, Dr. Ruto, sitting with the parents?
And he also attend even the KEPSA, the
Yes.
NAT, he always attend.
Yeah,
Deputy President.
we understand this. Government officials attend KEPSA and KESA conferences,
Yes.
NAT and KUPET, and even Kewota.
Yes.
But national parents, we have never had this conference. And even this KEPSA, KESA, Kewota, KNUT, they are all asking us. We try and also set up a structure that can oversee and bring on board parents' conferences. There are NGOs that also are willing. So my appeal will be that we are wishing to do this together with the government and any other well-wishers. We want, if there are any well-wishers that can come to us, they reach me and help us to organize. Our main problem is funding. Because a national conference for parents, just like for the teachers, it requires millions of shillings. It's not something you can do with 1,000 shillings. So I can't host that alone.
Yes.
I need teamwork.
Yeah.
I need other people on board. I need UNICEF. I need Usawa Agenda.
Yeah.
I need This Africa. I need World Vision. I need even embassies in this country that support education. I need NGOs, all NGOs, just to name a few. If they can join me, then funding of the conference will take place, and the parents will be very excited to see this happening for the best of our children.
Exactly. And also on the issue of now supporting from the organizations like World Vision, UNICEF. You find UNICEF is working with the ECD on some of the issues they deal with. How do they support you? How do this organization? Have they came forward? Have you gone for them to support you the same thing?
I will tell you that there are a number of organizations that are willing to work with NPA.
Exactly.
UNICEF has worked with us. UNICEF has funded me for the first time as the NPA chairman to do a project in Turkana, back to school. This was in 2023, 2024. In 2023 in August, we got funding from UNICEF to go and do a project in Turkana to get children back to school. And we were given a target of 1,000 children. But through my organization and through that project, we brought a clean 4,600 children back to school in Turkana. Turkana area has so many problems.
Yes.
Many parents, especially the male parents, don't see the need for education. They want to see their girl children getting married, while the boy children or the boy child goes out to look after animals.
Exactly.
So UNICEF is doing a lot of work in Turkana, and it funded us to go and do that project. We did the project and finished. it was supposed to have given us more funding to go back and now make a follow-up, get more children to school, and support the 4,600 that had gone to school, because they never had uniform, they never had books, they never had pens, they never had food. So for them to be in school, one children must have food. If there's no food, they can't be in school. They must have uniform, they must have books, they must have pens to write. They must also have teachers. Even if they are PTA teachers, they must be employed.
Exactly.
So I want to thank UNICEF for this. But we are still asking for more. Like now, this being a new year, we are still appealing to UNICEF just to have mass on us and give us more funding to promote not only Turkana. Even in Samburu, you can see what's happening in Samburu County. You can see what's happening in counties like West Pokot, like all those counties, even in Ikwale, in Kilifi. All these counties require support. So UNICEF, we are calling for the appeal. World Vision. World Vision has worked with us. The training that we did in Nairobi for the 670 PA chairs at a tune of about 3 million, this was funded by World Vision. And we thank World Vision for having done this. Right now, we are soon getting into an MOU with World Vision as NPA to support the feeding programs in schools. World Vision wants to work with us through that system to have children get feeding in schools from this year going on. We are still in this kind of plans. We are working together. Usawa Agenda has funded us to bring private schools on board, because Usawa Agenda feels that this is a national parents organization. It's a national one. So when it's national, it's for every parent. We don't have the public and private parents. But they feel that all parents are valued. So Usawa Agenda has funded us at one point to work with private schools and have them affiliate as members of NPA. And as we are speaking, we have over 150 schools that have affiliated because of that support. Because of the support that we have got from Usawa Agenda. During December holidays, on the 17th to the 19th of December, Zizafrique funded our National Delegates Conference, where it brought that we have 8 regions in the country, and NPA has regional coordinators. So Zizafrique funded the meeting for the regional coordinators, the RCs. During this meeting, Zizafrique wanted to understand how it can work together with NPA, because it feels that NPA is a very important organization. So they funded that conference, and we brought 3 delegates from every region. Out of the 8 regions, we brought 24 delegates for training as TOTs. And we are looking forward now to bring now the 47 PA chairs together. Because during that conference of the 24 delegates, we had to come up with a strategic plan of 2025-2028 for 3 years. So we are looking for a partner now who can give us funding now to bring back now the 47 PA chairs from the 47 counties to come and go through this strategic plan that we did with the 24 delegates to approve it before now we get another funding to take this now to a place like KICD and now bring all stakeholders in the education sector, including the government, to listen to our strategic plan and also to be able to support us now to roll out the programs. Yes. I think if the unions, COPET, KNUT, and other teacher associations came together to form a federation, to form a what?
A federation.
This would be something very important with this country. Just like Kotu.
Yes.
You see, Kotu is for the farmers. But Kotu has the federation. If this came together, if we came together as a team, the unions, the parents, and other associations that are working in the education sector, and form a cooperation, even if funding would be much easier, even from the international world, they'll come to us. Like Education International, if we had a federation, it would even fund parents association. I'm very sure KNUT and COPET will advocate on our behalf, since I'll be sitting in these meetings organized by the international education, whatever, international education, and through that they will help me to advocate for funding from this international organization. Even the government will be very, very happy to see that kind of a federation, because we shall be together as a team. I'm appealing to that. They should think about that. Yes. They sit on their sub-county education committees to deliver on behalf of parents. From the 377 and above sub-county PA chairs, every school, public primary school, and even private schools, they all have PA chairs. Because in the private schools you have the PTS. Why parents teachers associations in the private schools? Public schools, we have the PAs, parents association representatives. The ones at the school are elected through a system. During elections, the ones at the school are elected by class representatives. They are those who elect those PHRs at the school level. The school PHRs in a sub-count come together and elect their sub-count PA chair. The sub-county PA chair, once elected, in a count, if there are 5 counties, the 5 sub-county PA chairs come together, hold a meeting, their own conference with their delegates there. They elect the count PA chair. Now, county PA chairs come as a delegates conference, they elect the national chairman. So we are well structured. We are everywhere. And all these are parents. Okay. So your question was, why are our members not doing subscriptions? And I think maybe you are looking at NAT and CUPET.
Exactly.
These are unions.
Structure, yes.
And even in other organizations, other associations, there is membership. So our organization, we are supposed to have any parent, and let me make it clear, any parent in any school in the country, in Kenya, under Basic Education Act, we call them basic education institutions. All parents in basic education institutions, all the way from ECD to teacher training colleges, those parents are supposed to be the members of the National Parents Association. That's what I oversee. I see those boards. And all those parents, there are over 20 million. They are supposed to be members of the organization. And there should be membership. Parents are willing. They are even asking, Chairman, how come?
Why are we not subscribing?
How are we members of your organization? And we are not paying anything to your organization. How do you survive? From the safety of the children, we look at the safety of the children both in and out of school. When the children are in school, they are in the hands of the school managers, principals, and head teachers. Their safety is in the hands of those people. When they leave school, if it's in the evening on daily basis as they go home, the moment children leave the school gate and step outside the gate, they are in the hands of the parents. Parents must understand, how do we care for our children? You have heard on several times parents complaining that our children were leaving school and they got lost. They don't know where they are now. Parents must understand that they have the role of waking up in the morning, delivering their children to schools, even in public. Even if the school is 10 meters away from the compound, as a parent, I have the responsibility of waking up with my child. I must commit myself. Walk with my child, deliver the child in the school compound to the teachers in the compound, then walk back home. In the evening, I should be at the school gate by 3:30 to pick my child. Walk with the child at home. Speak good things about the school. Encourage children. Take them at home. That's safety of the children. On health of the children, nutritional values are very important. We want parents to understand why children must be fed. Even the government. So we work with the government to educate parents on how they can do proper feeding to their children in terms of nutrition, to avoid malnutrition in ECD children and also avoid non-communicable diseases. You have seen at the secondary school level and in private schools, there are what you call open days, visiting days, closing days. There are parties in schools. You will find teachers asking children to go home and ask parents to buy biscuits, to buy sausages, hot dogs, mandazi, chapati, they carry to school. As much as the teachers are asking for this, teachers in schools don't understand the dangers behind this. Because feeding children on junks is one way of promoting NCDs. It's the work of the Parents Association to train parents on NCDs.
Well said.
First of all, I'll be very frank and I'll be very clear on this one. We have 3 categories of schools. We are talking about public schools, owned by the government, owned by the parents, because parents are the government. Then we are talking of private schools, pure private schools. These are schools that were established on the basis of business making. They're in business. Then we have also another group of schools, up-bed schools. Up-bed schools, these are alternate providers of education, whatever, and technology. Mostly they are found in slums like Kibera, Madare. They are there, and there are about, there are many of them. They are supporting over almost 20 20 million children. They are very important schools. You see, about 20 million children. They are not small schools, average schools. So these three categories of schools: one, public schools belong to the government. That's why you see the government is mostly focused on their schools. Those are public. They are there so that any parent who has a child can take the child there knowing that the education which is given there is free and compulsory according to the Education Act 2013.
Exactly.
Now, this is why the government will give books, will give capitation to the public school children. When it comes to private schools, first of all, the government understands that private schools are out for business. So there is no way you will take money you take to somebody's shop, equip someone's shop for his own benefit, and there's nothing you are getting from there. So private schools are out for business. They are making business for the owners. And that's why you see private schools are shining in terms of infrastructure, school buses, even uniforms, because they go an extra of costing. Why the public schools don't do that? You understand that when it comes to collecting extra revenues in public schools, parents have to be involved, they must discuss and agree whether you can pay or not. But in private schools, it's compulsory. Put your child there and pay. So that's business. Urban schools, these are schools that are supporting the poor children in society, and especially in slums. That's why they are found in slums. They are in shanties. Even their teachers don't know where they get their teachers. But you find that most of them are excelling when it comes to the exams. So the common thing that brings education together in public, private, and urban schools is the question of doing a common entrance examination for transition. To transit from primary section to high school level or to university, the examination that is set is by Kenya National Examination Council. It's a common examination, meaning that if the government discusses with the parents, we have to understand why, first of all, why we have parents taking their children to private schools. One of the reasons is we have children whose conditions cannot work in public schools. For example, we have children who cannot feed themselves. Are you seeing this? We have the blind children. They are blind. There are some children that have got sickly conditions that cannot apply in public schools. So parents feel, even if costing is in private schools, they would rather put their children there because the private schools will employ somebody to take care of those children. Are you seeing this? But you cannot tell them that it's much easier to take a child on a wheelchair to a public school and assign other children or public teachers in the public schools to wheel this child around every time, to feed this child, to take him to the toilet or her to the toilet, to clean and bring her back. This may not be very easy. But in private schools, even the parents have their own caretakers who sit in private schools and take care of those children at a given cost. So private schools are playing a very major role. The issue of education provision, if both private and urban schools were not there, millions and millions of children would be out of school. Because of congestion right now, you can see. Public schools are already congested. Infrastructure is a problem. So take the millions of the children that are in the private and urban schools, add them to the public children right now. Do you know even grade 9 would be a whole problem? So that education provision that they are providing, the support, should be valued by the government. Now, therefore, when it comes to the issues, for example, when the government is issuing textbooks to public schools, the government is spending its money to issue books to public schools, pay capitation. The government can sit with the private schools and agree how much can we support. Are you seeing it? On a willing buyer, willing seller. That we are a private, yes. You are a private, yes. You have got 10 classrooms that are empty, waiting for senior secondary school. Can you provide these classrooms for grade 9 to be used by public school children right now? You know, there's that kind of friendship. Just like the way the president had said, that we work together as a team, as a community, to have children share school school infrastructure, equipment, and all that. If this teamwork can come together, I'm sure that private school owners will not say that they cannot do that. Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
So through parents association, that's why I'm trying to bring the private school owners into the parents association. They affiliate their schools here so that we can as well train their parents to understand why they feel that the government is not supporting them, why it's supporting the public schools. Yes. We have to make them understand why that's happening. But our appeal to the government is that if they can accept, or if they can extend a hand of goodwill, still they can even find donors. The government can find donors, like even the World Bank, to support the private schools, especially urban schools. Urban schools, the infrastructure, the land issue, where they are located. This is a big problem. But they are supplementing education provision in this country. Why can we support them? I remember last year, as I finish up, we had education dialogue, Nairobi education dialogue, where the CS, Honorable Machogu, addressed the meeting. And even the PS. During that meeting, there were very good suggestions that we begin with the Nairobi count to see how the government can even go ahead and bring back funding for urban schools. We are appealing for the government, if they can bring funding to urban schools in this country. Yes. That should be done. We are also appealing to the government to make it easy